Hey, this is Phil Lilley, Lilley's Landing Resort in Marina on Lake Taneycomo. Jack and I are out doing one cast today. It is Sunday, the 22nd of June. It's about 7 in the evening. I think they kicked the water on about 2 or 3 o'clock. They ran it up quite a bit. Not quite 4 units, but it's starting to drop back down. I'm up in the trophy area and I'm going to be drifting a couple of flies. So I was told that they're hitting a San Juan worm and a scud up here pretty good when the water's running. Blake Harris and Dwayne just came in and they said they just really caught a lot of fish up here earlier this afternoon. I am using a 14 scud. Blake said that they would only eat a number 12 scud. But I am not going to retie. So I've got a bell weight coming off. It's like a drift rig. This is probably actually way too big. It's like a 1/4 ounce. I did not check the weight. And they're going to be slowing the water down as I go, so that's the reason why I'm going to go and change it out real quick. I've got 4-pound line. And I've got a Charisse San Juan worm on and a gray Crystal Flash 14 scud on the bottom. So weight, San Juan, scud. A little bit this way. So I've heard that night fishing has been pretty awesome here lately. I know Blake's got a night trip. A lot of the guys are starting to go out at night and throwing the jerk baits, and I think his guys are wanting to fly fish, he said. But this time of year, it seems like the night fishing is really, really good. So I have an 1/8 ounce bell weight on. I don't think I said that. It might be a little bit light for this current, but like I said, they're slowing it down. Plus, I can slow the boat down and keep the weight bouncing the bottom, which I am doing. I'm going to move the boat a little bit more. I'm starting to get too close to the bluff. Kind of messed myself up there. I should have started with the boat pointed this way to begin with. Ah, should have left it up there. I like to keep the boat pointed away from the bluff because the current tends to suck you towards the bluff and you want to pull yourself out. It's a lot easier to pull yourself out front ways than back your way out. The only thing is you're going to have to look at that sun a little bit. Said that before the water comes on, Blake told me that the fishing in the morning has been pretty tough, but 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, the wind's starting to pick up about 10, 11 o'clock, and you get a chop. I just had a bite. You get a chop. Oh, I missed him. You get a chop on the water about that time. Fishing really picks up. Later in the morning into the afternoon, even if, even you got a high sun. Oh, I just had another bite, maybe. It's kind of opposite what you'd think. But when they start running water, it seems like that's when they really start feeding. The fish they're cleaning, they said they're just full of scuds, even below Fall Creek. Ah, so are they short striking me? And a lot of the guides are making their money drifting the Narrows. Oh, I missed him too. That was a good bite. They're starting about right here and just drifting down through the Narrows and then coming back up and just making that cycle, it seems like. This is always a hot spot. And then up below the dam has been pretty good when they're running water. Yeah. Stevie's got the right idea. He's shifted over where he's going to drift more down the channel, going down through the Narrows. I was thinking about that, so I'm going to follow suit. Get a little closer to the bluff. Steve Dickey's guiding some guys below me. All right. I mean, it is kind of a pain having to motor back up and drift the same area, but you know, if you want to stay on fish, you want to keep your clients on fish, that's what you got to do. I don't think I'm over far enough. I'll back myself into the bluff a little bit further. If they were running water like 24 hours a day, those fish would be up on the flat as much as they would be over in this channel. But since they're only running water about 5 hours a day, some fish will come out of the channel when they start running water and move on the flat, but I think a majority of them are just stay right here. They're not going to move. So that's why I think Steve and I'm sure others are drifting down this the channel. I know we had 2 or 3 trophies come in this morning. One of them was caught off the dock. Lake. I'll check my flies. I'm really surprised I didn't get bit going down through there. Make sure they don't have anything on them. They're clean. I gotta watch, make sure I don't drift into Steve. Oh, I just heard my first fireworks. I'd actually forgotten the 4th of July is just a couple weeks away. And Jackson heard them too. He does not like fireworks. Tell you what, I might have to go back up there and throw a jig or something. I didn't catch fish down through there, did you? I didn't catch a fish.
Yeah, they're dropping that water. We only had a couple. They got pretty moody through there. Yeah, they were biting fine earlier until that water started coming out. Now they got thick.
I had some short bites. I'm not the only one. All right, I gotta change tactics if they're not gonna hit this. We're gonna go back up and do something else. Okay, I'm up here about where I started before. You know, I said I was gonna do this before I left on vacation, and I knew the cicadas would die off and the bite would die off on the cicadas, and I'm pretty confident they really haven't been throwing any cicadas lately. I don't hear any. I think they're all gone. But I said I was gonna try some dries in the same areas we were catching fish. There's a rise right there, and another rise right there. There you go. So I said, and I do, gonna throw a stimulator. This is kind of an olive green. It's about a number 4 stimulator. 3X tippet, and I'm just gonna work this bank. Might get 2 or 3 rises, maybe none. I don't know. I am going to go a little bit higher, because I saw a rise up here, just a little bit further up. The water's dropped another foot since I've been up here, and it's slowing down. I don't know if they've shut the water off. I don't think they have, but they've really shut it back. And then it's supposed to be off here in a little bit, and it'll be off tonight. When these fish were hitting the cicadas, they were hitting them kind of on this film line out away from the bank. And this, there's one right there. That was pretty small. But my theory is these fish are still looking up, and there's still bugs to be had on the surface, just not cicadas. And the stimulator, oh man, stimulator is a good imitation of a lot of different dries. I like using stimulators and humpies. Elk hair caddis is another really good one. This fly is not floating as well as I'd like for it to. I want to throw it out, land it real soft. I don't want to plop it down because it'll sink a lot faster if I do that. Make a couple, 3 false casts every time just to dry the fly out so it'll float a little higher. As I come to the end of this eddy, I'm going to work my way in towards the bank. I am casting pretty much blind. In other words, I'm not targeting any spots right now. Just trying to get lucky. Even if I don't catch anything, this is, to me, very enjoyable. But I really think I'm going to get a few rises, a few looks maybe. Of course, this fly looks nothing like a cicada. on a season or a summer when we don't have that big cicada hatch, we really don't start throwing these dries until August, September normally. So this is out of character, or it's out of, we don't usually do this time of year. Fish aren't looking up, but like I said, they've been looking up 4, 5, 6 weeks, eating those cicadas. I might have to finish with a jig. Water's getting pretty slow. I think they've shut it off. Let's do that. I'm gonna throw a jig. Unless I start seeing a lot of fish rising. And I'm gonna have to tie a jig on. Oh, you turkey. One just jumped right there. Okay, got a 1/125 ounce black jig. No way. I've had 3 fish rise since I put my fly rod down. 4. You jokers. Got a 4-pound line, so I'm not sure how well this is gonna throw. Yeah. I've grabbed the wrong. Grabbed the wrong rod. Let's try this one more time. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna have to tie another jig on. This barely has any line on it. Another rise. I am not liking this at all. What's this got on? Can't believe it. Fish are rising. I think what I'd like to do is tie on a 1/16 ounce. Since I only have 4-pound line on these reels. Okay. I haven't caught a fish since I've been back. I've had a couple people ask me if I did any fishing while we were gone. There really wasn't any opportunity, and I don't think there were any fishing excursions off our cruise liner. Yeah, I caught a fish. I saw just a few boats in the harbors where we were docked with fishing equipment on them. Most of them were just sailboats and pleasure boats. No charters. Yeah, it's a stalker. And in Venice, when we were on a water taxi, going out and around, you know, kind of outside in the ocean, whatever. I saw two guys anchored fishing bait. I just saw 4 rises in front of me. I'm gonna have to come back out and try that stimulator again. Feel a little better about it now. I know that there's some rivers in Croatia that have fish in them, but we were not on a fishing trip, that's for sure. And that was fine. Hey, got another one. See a little baby fox over on the bank. Just a tad bigger than the last one, than the first one. Oh, there's 2 of them. 3 of them. Maybe more. Foxes. Hmm? Blake. He didn't want to run out in the flat. Stir up the bottom for me so I can catch fish. See if it works. I didn't quite get to my spot. All right, a couple more casts. There we go. If you're wondering, I'm using a rental rod. I'm not sure how that ended up in my office, but the fish really don't care. One more cast. Let's try one more since I got a bite on that one. Okay. Well, it was nice to get out. There's no fog tonight, which is pleasantly amazing. I hate fog. Well, thanks for watching. We'll get back out here and do it again tomorrow. See ya.